Greetings everyone again, and welcome to another edition of traditional drafts of Brothers War. This is, I think, a fairly easy first pick. The Might Stone and Weak Stone is an artifact that costs 5 mana, doesn't require any specific color, and it has two very decent options. You can draw 2 and you can kill a creature. Now normally a 5 mana sorcery speed removal that gives like -5/-5, that wouldn't be that good, and 5 mana draw 2 wouldn't be good either, but when you get to choose between those two, it's a whole different story. And of course this does add to 2 mana of the Power Stone kind, which will be relevant in this set too, but it's an easy first pick here. The other cards worth considering are like, I don't know, maybe you could start a draft with a Loran and then draft enough artifacts to make it very good abilities. Steel Seeker is fine, Emergency Weld is fine, but yeah, the Might Stone and Weak Stone is good. And of course, as a bonus, if I actually get the Meld a pair happen, if I get past the Mythic Rare, you know, it's the 3 mana Ursa, isn't it? Yeah, that 2/4 for 3, I think it's a mythic rare. If I get that, that would be fantastic. Assuming I'm also playing blue and white in that case. Alright, well. Funnily, the Argivin Avenger is actually decent with the Might Stone and Weak Stone. It accelerates into it and allows to use its abilities. But is that the pick here? I mean, there's a Disfigure, there's a Weak Stone, Subjugation. Yeah, I think the best cards the cards worth considering here are the Avenger, Disfigure, and the Subjugation, and it's not a good pack. I mean, in the sense that it's a pack 1, pick 2. I definitely have seen better pick 2s. Do I want to stay colorless? I mean, it's a 6-drop. You shouldn't maybe pick a 6-drop that early in the draft, so I guess it's gonna be one of the removal spells, and I do like the Disfigure quite a bit. Yeah, let's take the Disfigure. I mean, I'm totally ready to abandon black, but I think I like the instant a little bit better than the aura. Alright, so this is a better pack for sure. I am going to. I'm a bit sad I can't pick both the research desk and the mats, but it's gonna be one of them, and I think. Yeah, it's the research desk. I like it because this gives you such nice flexibility. You can dig the sort of card you need, and the fact you can do this in 2 instances is a big deal, because if you have like a, well, I guess if you could draw 2 cards for, well, yeah, I mean, I was first thinking about the Impulse, but the Impulse only draws you 1 card. This actually eventually drops you 2 cards, but anyway, this is very good. And even though the mat is very good as well, I think this is slightly preferred. Evolving Wilds, always I'm happy to pick that, especially because I have this research desk, which, you know, in a non-red deck I might play, especially if I have an Evolving Wilds that can get one of Mountain from my deck somewhere. Other options here are, there's like a Steel Exemplar. If I'm gonna be like mostly monocolor, it's a fine option, but then again it is a 5-drop, pack 1, pick 4, maybe not time to pick. And non-bomb 5-drops. Ambush Paratrooper is always decent. Warlord's Elite is usually good in white decks. I think this is a fairly weak pack, and I'm just gonna take the Evolving Wilds. It's gonna be making the deck in in all cases except when I'm exactly monocolored, and that's not going to happen often. So I'll take the Evolving Wilds here from a fairly weak pack. If I knew I was white, I would have taken the Paratrooper pretty surely, but I don't know if I'm white, so I'd try to take the card that is gonna be used in the draft regardless. Okay, I see these combat couriers go. I mean, this is at least the second courier. It's a pretty decent card. Alright, there's a Transmogrant Altar. Doesn't really combine well with the picks I have currently made, and this can come back later. Although I don't think it's going to be a pick 13, although not an impossible thing. It's very hard to figure out any signals here because the cards are not that great. I mean, you could take the Stern Lesson, you could take the Courier. I don't see anything black worth picking to combine with the Disfigure. I'm just taking the Stern Lesson for now. And mediocre stuff. Although I guess the weak stones subjugation, especially because I did take the stern lesson, is now the pick here. I was considering some of the unearthed stuff, or maybe finally take a white this 2-drop here, but I'm gonna take the removal now that I already took the stern lesson, so I could be blue. Alright, there's an emergency world, another Avenger, which is not the one I saw earlier, because that would be coming in pick 10, I think. I have the disfigure. Alright, so am I gonna take the weld? Because I already have picked the disfigure. Yeah, I don't think the Avenger is quite that amazing. Alright, I'll take the weld. And here... but this is kind of weird. The packs are so mediocre. This is definitely not as strong stuff as, for example, if you watch my previous draft or have already seen it. That was a pretty wild draft. I got a pretty amazing deck there. This is quite the opposite of that. So, I mean, I could take the Swift Spear, I could take the Locust. I suppose I have the research desk here. I could still be like a main color red. Swift Spear can work in a certain kind of a deck. Yeah, I don't like the Locust that much. Alright. And here I have another emergency weld, which I think is the best card in the pack. So I should take it. I do like the Power Stone Engineering, but I have nothing that's white, so maybe it's not the pick here. Alright, so I try to at least be black. And the Archaeologist is quite good with the weld, yes. So I'm going to just take that, and I'm actually happy about getting this pick. So I could be black here. Alright, well, nothing here is that good. I do like the Turquoise Onulet in white decks, but of course this is not... It doesn't seem like a white deck. I don't seem like a green deck either. Colorless Rock. Acrobat. I don't know. I'll take the Flyer, but I don't know even if that is so great here. I'll take the Rebuff for sideboard. I don't like the main deck counter spells. Well, in most formats actually. Not just in this format. Alright, I'm gonna pass this stuff. Although maybe I should take the Recluse. Although I might be, you know... Okay, let's take the Worker. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna play it. Sure, let's take the 2-drop. That's kinda playable. Okay, that was a very disappointing pack 1. Okay, pack 2 has an Arcane Proxy. It has a Mask of the Jade Crafter. Another Disfigure. I'm going to take the Proxy here because I already have, you know... As a prototype, this... allows you to cast instants or sorceries from your graveyard with mana value 2 or 1, basically. And I already have a couple of emergency welds, and I have a disfigure, so that's a decent amount of support for it. And of course, then when you have the 7 mana option available, you have more spells to recast probably. So it's a fine card. Also, it is a mythic rare I don't have a full playset of yet, so I'm gonna do it also for the set completion purposes. But I think it is the correct pick over something like a Disfigure or the Mask of the Jade Crafter from this pack. Alright, there's a Gurgling Anointer. Now that is not that great for my cards here. I mean, blue-black usually has those cantrips. I guess if I took I guess we'll have a stern lesson here. Yeah, this is like the only thing that draws me extra. Okay, well there's also the Might Stone and Weak Stone, which can draw me cards. So yeah, this is really good if you can make it work. Safer option might be a Power Stone Fracture, but this just can be really good. So I'm gonna take the Anointer now and focus on drawing cards a little bit. There's also the Warblow, another Weld Fracture. That's a decent amount of playables for my colors. Alright. No One Left Behind. That's pretty decent with Arcane Proxy. Except that it's not. It requires if you cast it. So this, if you return it from the graveyard, you won't be casting it. So that's... Forget about that. Not good. Right, so there's a Might Stones animation. There's an Energy Refractor. Well, I mean, the Refractor is good with the Anointer, but this does draw a card as well. I just don't have that many good targets for it quite yet. I guess the world gives me... Okay, these are also... Yeah, this gives me a Power Stone, these give me 1/1 artifact creatures. Yeah, I'm going to take the animation over the Refractor. This is of course unplayable, so yeah, I'm taking the stronger card here. Mr. Spobble, Evolving Wilds Refractor. Okay, that's interesting stuff, but I think the pick is now the Energy Refractor because it does synergize with both the Gurgling Anointer and also with the Mightstone's animation. And of course, it also fixes my red. If I end up playing this research desk, I can still get the Unearth with it. Alright, let's take that. So it might be a blue and black deck after all. Yeah, it seems like it is. Okay, the Gilded Lotus. I guess it could be playable in some kind of decks that have like a lot of these prototype creatures. But not really. Doesn't seem like a good one for this deck. But I will take the Combat Courier because this is again a good target for the Mightstone's animation and a good enabler for the Anointed as well. So let's take the Courier now. Take Flight. I think it's the pick here. It's pretty decent, with the Anointer and by itself. So let's take it. I should cut the Swift Spear for sure. And then, okay, Talisman I like, but there's also a 2-drop I might want to have here because I don't really have 2-drop creatures that many and I don't want to play the Air Marshal. The Wing Commando is better probably than the Warplow, but in this case I'll just take the 2-mana thing. And also you can target the Death Toucher with the Mindstone's animation. Right, so here. I guess the Foundry Inspector might have just about enough reasons to, enough discounts to make it worth playing a 3-mana 3/2. I don't think I have that many 3-drops either, so it's good for my mana curve. Yep, I'm gonna take it here. And here, I don't like the Scatter Ray, I don't like the Ashnod's Intervention that much either. But I guess out of these two options, I think I might use the Scatter Ray as a sideboard card. And here there's Emergency World Steel. There's another Warplow, there's a Depth Charge Colossus, which I could play in this deck, but I'm not gonna take it now. I think I should take more creatures, not a third way to get a creature back from a graveyard when my creature count is only 8. So let's take the Warplow, a decent 2-drop after all. Okay, there's a Clay Revenant and a Stone Retrieval Unit. I don't really know if I care about either of those things. I guess the Retrieval Unit could maybe even be played with these expensive artifacts, so I'll take that. Alright, Moment of Defiance, I like it more than a second copy of the Air Marshal. Let's see if I can get any other card from this cycle, and yes I can. Trench Stalker is definitely a welcome addition now that I have this draw 2 cards theme in my deck. And yeah, the Archaeologist is fine, but I don't think it's that important. Okay, I got my Intervention, which I probably won't be playing. Alright, so Key to the City is okay, but I might just take Power Stone Fracture here now. I have some amount of sacrificable artifacts for it, and yeah, I could still use some removal, so I'm taking it here. I don't care about splashing for this thing because, well, it just isn't that amazing. 5 mana 4/4. Yeah, the 2 abilities this has, they are relevant, but not always. Power Stone Fracture is what I want to have here. Okay, so there's there is an Overwhelming Remorse and there's a Severe Sentinel. I do like the Sentinel quite a bit, but that returns creatures. You can't return stuff like Energy Refractor. I mean, this is just a... Yeah, this format is one where you want to have access to removal. So I'm gonna take it. I can't ever cast it with the Proxy because this mana value is always gonna be 5. And this is gonna have 4 power at most. But it's still going to be the pick here. Yeah, I would really want to have that efficient 2-drop here, but this is just a better card. I believe, at least for this deck, I do need more of that removal than a 2-1 flyer. Alright, so Ashnot's Harvester is really decent. There's also the Scrapwork Mutt. Fateful Handoff is like a sideboard card at most against, I've talked about it before, but in case you don't watch all my drafts, the reason this is a potential sideboard card is if you play against white decks that have pacifisms, there's the Citizen's Arrest, I believe the card's name, or blue decks that have the Weak Stone's Subjugation, so you can, if you get locked, some of your creatures gets locked down under some of that stuff, you can then use the Fateful Handoff. But here the pick is the Ashnot's Harvester. I like it slightly more than the Mutt because I have access to the Unearth a bit more reliably than for the card that has a red Unearth cost. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to play the Research Desk. I have so many cards. It doesn't even draw me a card, with the actual keyword draw, so it doesn't synergize with the Gurgling Anointer or the Overwhelming Remorse, so I could easily be just a blue-black deck here. Alright, so is this exciting? Not really. I mean, I do like the weld, but I am a bit light on creatures, so having like a triple weld might not be the best idea. I could take the Archaeologist. It's also something that is, a decent sacrifice fodder for the Post on Fracture once you pick something useful from the ability, and it's just an 0-3 you can sacrifice for the Fracture. So I think I might actually do that. Yeah, I'm gonna take another Archaeologist. I do think the Vermin is decent, but maybe not so necessary here. Okay, another Fracture. I guess that makes total sense now that I took the second Archaeologist there, so I'm happy to actually have this passed to me. There's a Soul Guide Lantern, there's a Thrax Demon, which is also decent. It does synergize with the Trench Stalker and the Anointer, and also, it eats these potentially useless Phalange Archaeologists, also the Harvester, after you have unearthed it. I do like to play the Soul Guide Lantern, but maybe in this deck I prefer the Thrax Demon. I definitely have now enough 2-drops I can cut stuff like Air Marshal, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut the Research Desk as well. Okay, now there's a Wing Commando and there's a Gix's Keres, however you say it. I think I need the creature rather than the discard spell. Yeah, I'm taking the creature here because it's quite good. This deck has plenty of ways to, trigger prowess, I believe. Okay, here Retrieval Ancient versus Gigamole here. Oh, the Gigamole is quite good with the weld anyway, so yeah, I think it's better to have a chance to pick a creature with the ETB than just have this 2/5 that can alter its power a little bit. Alright, so I'm gonna play 1 Depth Charge Colossus, am I? I don't think this deck really wants to have the wings. I'm gonna play one of these big things. Not necessarily in the main deck, but I like to have the option to have it available. Okay, I'm just taking the Mana Rock up, which I'm unlikely to play, but I'm not going to play 2 Coilless Rocks or 2 Retrieval Units. And Toka's Dig Site, I don't think this deck needs the kind of Surveil action. It does make your mana worse after all. Okay, should I take the sideboard card over Machine over Matter here? I think I don't need the bounce here. I'll take the sideboard card. Also, it's 20 gems because it's a rare. Alright, so Juggernaut, no. Supply drop like could be played. Very unlikely though. Okay, I have the bounce spell now. I could take this 6-drop, which I'm not interested in, so I'll take the bounce spell. It's most likely going to be a sideboard card. And I don't think I'm gonna main deck the Dig Site. I got also one of these agents. I mean, it's not a very good card, so it's not a surprise. It's a 15th pick. That is a lot of cards. I'm gonna cut the Research Desk, the Intervention. Some easy cuts here, Air Marshal unnecessary. I think the bounce spell doesn't make it to main deck. Make the main deck. Okay, the rest of them. Okay, retrieval agent, no thanks. Probably not gonna play the retrieval unit. I won't play the Coilous Rock because I'd rather have the Torrent Stalker. These are 2 drops. This is potentially a 3 drop. This is a 6 drop, alright. So that is 29 after the easy cuts. I have to go through a second round and I'm gonna cut the Stone Retrieval unit supply drop. Well, those were the cards I'm happy to cut. Yeah, so I'm thinking about the Moment of Defiance. I have only 2 cards that care about the the mechanic of drawing your second card of the turn. And I still have some number of card draw in the deck, so probably it's a little bit unnecessary. Yeah, I'm going to cut that. And I think from the main deck I can cut the Depth Charge Colossus. How about the Gigamole? It currently has only 13, so you mill 3 cards. If you have 13 creatures in your deck, I mean, it will actually be 12 other creatures. But yeah, it's not gonna be that easy to hit a creature with this. I think I'm gonna cut maybe also the Gigamole here, and then maybe one of the Archaeologists. Do I still have enough not targets, but creatures to and artifacts to sacrifice to this thing? I think I do with the double weld. One Archaeologist courier. I mean, any unearthed creatures work because you can unearth them and then sacrifice them. So I think this is the deck. The Foundry Inspector is still good because I do have a total of 8 artifacts. So there are 7 cards. This accelerates into including these 6 mana creatures, this 5 mana thing, and this 7 mana cost. Now there's one thing I could consider here, and it's that should I play 16 lands, because I do have a Combat Courier and a Refractor and a Stern Lesson, but that's, yeah, probably maybe not. Yeah, I'm not convinced 16 is what I want to do. This is often a 4 drop as well, so the mana curve does seem pretty decent. These can be 2s or 6s. 1, 2, 3. That is 5 2 mana creatures. And then I have this figure here, which I can also use early in the game. That's enough early drops. But should I still play 16 lands? Because this is a fairly low mana curve after all. Even this can be a 1 mana spell. So the deck has 5 cards that require having more than 3 mana, and this in some cases can also be a 3 mana spell or even cheaper. Because I'm thinking about having like another Archaeologist or maybe Machine of Matter here as a spell, and I would play only 16 lands in that case. I don't think I want to have the Gigamole. The creature count is slightly too low for that. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Machine of Matter also because that's another thing I can just recast with the Arcane Proxy being just a prototype, which I think matters. It wouldn't be the worst idea to play like one Urza's Rebuff. I think I like it slightly more than the Scatter Ray. But maybe after sideboarding, yeah, let that be. Yeah, because it's another good target. I mean, the Machine of Matter is another good target for the proxy. I'm going to play that as my 24th card, and then I can play 16 lands. I believe I have enough low of a mana curve that I can just survive with 16 and all this stuff. Yeah, I guess I could also play the Moment of Defiance, but no, I like the bounce spell. It's a little bit of more interaction. Let's do that. So that's now 9 black, 7 blue. With the Evolving Wilds, that's gonna be an 8/7 mana base. I don't think I'm gonna make my mana worse by including the dig site in the deck. So yeah, I'm also figuring out if there are enough, ways to actually push through some damage. I don't have a lot of ways if the opponent has a lot of removal, but I guess I have some ways to bring back my creatures. Take Flight can win by itself. This can be 5/4s. This can win by itself. I'm gonna start with this. This should be good enough. And this Proxy is a double caster as a prototype. I don't think I have any black double casters. So even though I have more black cards, and also these Warblows are actually black when you want to play them on turn 2, I still might just play more islands because of the double caster in here. So let's do that thing then. Yeah, the deck seems to be a bit lacking. Maybe like another Wing Commando or something like that. Some other good 4-drop, maybe another Mightstones animation could have been good, but now I'm not sure if these colors were totally that open after all. But I'm not sure if I passed any excellent white, red or green cards either, so maybe I drafted the correct combination of colors. Alright, so this is the deck now with 7 swamps and 8 islands. And the Evolving Wilds, that's still like a 9/8 mana base, with the Refractor also helping with the colored costs. Alright, so that's the main deck. It's possible I have to sideboard, more of these kind of sort of win conditions, like the 6/6 5 mana flyer or something like that, but I think this is fine for a main deck. Okay, well this is actually a very nice hand. I can start with the Traxo Demon here. Let's just get the swamp right away. And then I need of course 2 lands to play the Mightstone and Weakstone, but after that I can cast the rest of my cards, although I might have to play the Warblow on turn 3 if I have no other plays, which is fine. Oh well, actually I do have... Yep, let's see if they do something to this demon. They bounce it. Oh, that's fine, I can actually... I think I'd rather play the 3 power creature here now. Then I have the option to double spell on the next turn with the Warblow and the Traxo Demon, or, if I draw a land, play the Mightstone. I wait for them, or Mightstone and Weakstone. Now I'm gonna play the Refractor and Traxo Demon, but let's see if this is gonna... Okay, that's just... They have nothing here. They might have a counter spell, but let's play this thing first. Let them counter it if they have. Nope. And then let's see if I get a land. I did, so I can draw 2 cards, unless they drop an amazing bomb here, which would need to be dealt with. Yeah, they actually missed their entire turn 3 there, so are they mono blue or lacking a color? They have these beautiful islands at least. Metamorph is just a 3/3 when they don't have anything to copy, which is fine. I have no reason to... Let me see. I could attack into it with the Traxo Demon as well, and then of course Disfigure makes it a good combat, but then I don't really have a good... yeah, I'd rather just, attack with the Harvester. I have to exile my own Evolving Wilds, but that is not anything I care about. Who knows, maybe they'll just block anyway. But I want to play my draw 2 cards here. I definitely didn't want to kill this thing 2 cards will be much more valuable here. Oh, with the refractor I actually do have... Oh man, I made a mistake. Yep, with the refractor and the might stone and weak stone I have the disfigure up, so I should have done this pre-combat and attack with both. Oh well. And they have green also. They might want to kill the Thraxodemon because it is, you know, going to draw me some cards over the course of a game. And it's not like I'm, you know, the 3 mana won't be a big problem anymore because of the 2 mana the Might Stone produces. Okay, so they make the 2/2, but I can just disfigure that right away, so this should be fine now. It is fine. So it's a good thing, I guess, after all that. That. I saved it, or maybe it's not actually. Yeah, I would rather actually them this to be dead. Then they actually wouldn't have played the Teferi at all, because the 2/2 I could attack into with the Thraxodemon. Now I still have a play here, which I probably will make, because I don't want to just lose the Thraxodemon here. Yeah, I have to waste the disfigure here now, but it is what it is. At least I can play this as a big creature. 4/3 is not that big, but I'm gonna do that. Cast and this goes smaller. Now they can trade with the Harvester still, but I don't care if they trade with the Harvester. Main idea is that the Teferi needs to go. It's too good of a Planeswalker. But at least now they can't just eat the Thraxodemon for free. So now they have no board, no Planeswalkers. I still have 2 creatures and a pretty decent hand, and Harvester can also come back from the graveyard. And I can eat the energy refractor with the Thraxodemon. I can also... everything is exiled. Well, I guess this isn't, so I could bring this thing back, but let's just first attack with both. Although they could have a Coilless Rock. How much mana do I have? When I play the island, I will have 9 mana, so that's actually enough for the Goring Warblow and the Thraxodemon. So they have something at least up. So I'm gonna play around the 5 mana 3/3 Flash Flyer, and I will attack only with the Proxy, because they could eat the Thraxodemon. Okay, there is that thing exactly, so yeah, this is fantastic. This is fantastic, so now I can just trade. That's fantastic. I will get the emergency weld. I can weld it back at some point, but of course now what I'm going to do is... well, actually, let me see. Oh, I'm thinking about it. I'm wasting 1 card draw if I don't have the Trench Stalker up when I eat the Refractor, but I think I'm still gonna do that. I'm gonna just do it like this. Maybe I should have even eaten it first, but... Well, I guess now if they try to remove the Warblow somehow, I can sacrifice it in response. I don't know how many ways there are to remove it. I guess they could be having the Lockdown Aura. Okay, those won't help them. But what I can do here now is eat the Refractor. More Warblows. Anointer. That also is good. So I have now 9 mana still. I can play the Warblow and the Anointer. Let's deal 5 to them. There's no instant or sorcery in my graveyard yet, but of course once I use the weld there will be that. So I can return the Proxy and then return something else. Immediately actually, because I do have the 9 mana. So I can use the... I mean, I can of course play the weld with a prototype version of the Proxy, but I can even make this Proxy a 4/3. And I can use the weld to return it. Then I can use the remaining 7 mana to weld, use the Proxy on the weld and return something else. But the opponent is now facing some big death touchers. This is exactly why I like the Goring Warplows. When you top deck them later in the game, they are just 5/4 death touchers, which you can't do with normal 2-drops, of course. And they are totally reasonable 2-drops as a way to trade with the opposing early drops. Okay, so is there gonna be something that kills the Anointer? There could be an epic confrontation, which is very bad if it goes against the Death Touchers. They might kill the Anointer. Yep. But I can get it back with the Weld at some point. Well, even on the next turn. Power Stone Fracture also good, but the problem with for the opponent is that none of these creatures have 4 or more power, so the only way to kill a Warplow is to sacrifice 2 creatures. Because of course with the Death Touch, even if they had more toughness, they would lose both blockers. So there's no way for me to push for lethal damage here, even if I unearth these. Let's see, if I unearth these and kill one of them... No, it doesn't seem that particularly good, because I have a better play available here. I'll just do this. Okay. Are they gonna really leave the Steel Seeker as the only creature? The smallest creature survives here. That is interesting. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is just weld me back some proxies. And I'm gonna play a 7 mana proxy here. 4/3 is quite relevant because they are exactly at 4 life. And I'm gonna use the weld to return Anointer of Lies. Warplow is a big guy. I mean, probably doesn't matter too much. And I can of course return the Refractor, which I'm not going to do, because this returns artifacts as well as creatures. Alright, so... I guess I'll just take the big ground guy. It has Death Touch, so they shouldn't have any good blocker on it. And I have the Fracture if they actually have some kind of a blocker for it, so shouldn't be too hard. Yep, that's a 2/5, which gets them a land or a mill if they want to. They didn't want a Coastal Bulwark. Yep, that's a lethal attack. If I attack with everything, but of course they have cards in hand, mana up. Well, 1 card in hand, but I would have still used the Fracture pre-combat. And, you know, just unearth. Yeah, I had a lot of damage coming up. Alright, so that's a blue-green deck. Confrontation. They have a Teferi, which is really good if they have the the board presence to protect it. They have the Coil's Rock, but I already played around it, even though I hadn't seen it, so I don't have to particularly remember it. Maybe Bulwark is a 3/3 blocker for my ground guys, but I guess it doesn't even block the... Well, it can block the Harvester, but it will also die. Any way to deal with the Teferi? I mean, I might have something like an Urza's Rebuff here, perhaps. What was the final card I added to the deck? It was the Machine of a Matter, but this is also good against Teferi. You can just bounce the token it makes, or any potential blocker. I'm not cutting that. Yeah, I think this is good enough. I don't need anything in here in particular. Maybe one thing is that the intervention is actually quite decent against the confrontation. It might make the the opposing creature die, and I still get my own creature back. But it's very hard to cut anything from this deck. Like the Archaeologist maybe, but no, it's not. It's too kind of acute. That's fine. The Archaeologist is still good because I have 2 Power Stone Fractures and a lot of decent cards to mill and get back. Okay, am I gonna keep this hand on the draw? Take flight is good, but I have no creatures. I can buy me some time with the machine over matter though. I mean, this can take over the game if they don't have software removal. I think I'll keep it, but I'm not. I mean, yeah, it could have easily been a mulligan. I mean, it can just be, but he's actually fine now with the Arcane Proxy. It would have been an immediate keep, because now what I can do, I can just bounce it, this thing they played, and then I can bounce whatever they play on the next turn again. Hopefully it's not a 3-2 that creates a Power Stone token. I wouldn't want to bounce that. Okay, this buys me a lot of time. Oh, but they still get value out of this. They had a 1-drop artifact. Well, that is a shame. That is a shame, but it's fine. I'm gonna just you know, play this and then next turn play the take flight on it. That was a nice amount of tempo. And I will hopefully get at least one card out of this if they tap out mostly. Okay, third path, I'm not interested in that. And then I will fly over a bit. And if they use a kill spell on it, at least they have to use mana on that instead of applying more pressure to the game board. The subjugation is a bad removal spell on the Savant, but actually that is... well, they're gonna draw a card and then I won't be able to kill the Teferi. Well, they got the turn 5 Teferi here, that's good for them. And I don't have any... oh, they actually let the Teferi go. Wow, that's really good. For me, I mean. This thing keeps growing, but I can just subjugate it. Wow, if they drew a card, this Teferi would have survived. Amazing. That's amazing. Okay, Foundry Inspector. Well...
I lost the battle, not the war.
So... I'm not going to play the Warplow as a 1-1, it's just trades with the Courier. I can play the Inspector because next turn I can play the War, assuming the Inspector survives, that is. Next turn they will attack with these and it will deal me a bunch of damage, but point is that I can use this on the next turn by using only 1 mana to kill that thing here. And the Inspector makes it so that the Warplow will be a 5 mana spell, so as you can see I have a land in my hand, so next turn I can use 6 mana so that I can use this, play this and also this with the big version. So this is fine. And it's all, you know, it depends on, based on the fact that the Inspector won't get killed now, but if they are gonna kill something, it's gonna have to be the Proxy, right? I will take 5 damage here now, because I won't be blocking the Savant. They might even want to protect their Savant and not attack with it. They might even want to protect the 3-3 and not attack with it. They replay their Steel Seeker. Draw a card. It's a weird order to do things. Why wouldn't they first draw the card and then decide if the Steel Seeker is the best play? But that's what they chose. And they are protecting this. No, they are not. And I would really want to trade with the Savant. I might actually even... okay, well, no, not now. Hey, this has Vigilance. Oh yeah, I knew it has the Vigilance. Yeah, so that's a beautiful plan. All wasted. Alright, well, in that case, do I even care? Because I'm thinking about doing this pre-combat. But I think I want to play the Warplow instead still. Oh man, that was a mistake. Because I could have attacked if I lock down this first. Then I don't mind the trade with the Savant. But I suppose I'm gonna play the Warplow anyway. Alright, well that is not a bad one. But I don't think I'm going to use it quite yet. Because I don't actually have any that great sacrifice fodder around. So let's play this here now. And I could play this as a 1-mana spell thanks to the Foundry Inspector, but a 1-1 here isn't going to do that much. Yeah, I have to take some damage now. I think I will trade with the 5-5 now. There will be another target for the subjugation. And they might attack with it into the Warplow, but I don't think they would have attacked into 1-1 Death Touch. Okay, they get the counter on that thing, so that is... I mean, they're gonna draw a card with this thing, so these things grow. They didn't mill the card on top of their deck, so they wanted to draw the specific thing there. Don't like that. Well, you know, my Take Flight has really done a good job here, because I have gotten so many cards with it. Well, I'm going to just attack here with both of these guys. They probably will trade with the Latinum Adept. Let's see if they are gonna do the draw 2 cards thing at any point, because it's gonna use their entire turn here. I'm effectively drawing, you know, 1 extra card per turn without any cost. Are they gonna take 8 here? That would be weird. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Alright, so now I can just I think it's pretty easy decision here now. Just will to that thing back, because I can recast it thanks to the Foundry Inspector. And now that I have the 1-1, I have the 1-1 now, which is good. You know, I can sacrifice it for the Fracture, or I can even make a 4-4, but I think the Fracture is the first thing I want to happen. Are they finally gonna kill the Proxy, because that has done a lot of work? Bailout. Okay, that's not gonna kill it. That's just... oh, okay, they don't have a good attack now. And there's a more removal. Alright. Well, I need to remove most of their stuff. I have 8 mana for this turn. Now if I attack with the Warplow, they're just going to use the bailout to trade with it. But I guess it's just what's going to happen. Maybe... I think it's time to actually kill the Savant as well, but... I need to deal with the 7-7. Maybe I'm a bit conservative here now. I'm gonna just do this attack here in the air. Okay, there's more Fractures, but only 1 good fodder for sacrificing. So I think I want to kill the Savant, and I want to kill also the 7-7 here. Before they untap, because that's... well, I guess I can use the Remorse here as a... well, I guess if I play another Warplow, then I don't need to have the Remorse mana up. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Let's do that, because they are not gonna kill both of the Warplows, at least. I hope that's the case. But yeah, I didn't want them to start drawing cards. Alright, well that's a good Scry 4 there. Well, they definitely have cards that are, you know, worth killing, but I mean, without the Proxy being enchanted by the Take Flight, this game would have been pretty miserable, but... okay, they keep everything on top. Now, of course, the first one is gonna be a land. No, because the Steel Seeker would have drawn it for free. So it's none of the land, none of the cards on the top is a land. Oh, that's really scary. That is really scary. Okay, so how do I do this? How do I do this? I need to deal with the Spotterthopter first, of course. Well, I can play the Archaeologist and then use the Fracture. I suppose I start with that. Hit something good. Stern Lesson is better than nothing. I'm not taking myself out yet. So I didn't mill a creature. If I did, I would have had this up at 4 mana. But I guess the Subjugation is also at 4 mana, so this is fine. Fracture killing the Thopter. Like that. And I guess it's time to subjugate the 8/8 here. Then I can attack with, you know, everything. Trade with the Bailout and the 5. Actually, I was wrong that the Remorse is now available here, but I'm still going to use the Subjugation here. And attack with all of this stuff. But yeah, the top 4 cards are ones they want to draw. I'm gonna keep the Evolving Bulge in my hand for the Stern Lesson to discard. So, just pass the turn now. They are down to 4, but I mean, they must have something like a epic confrontation for the Proxy first. Are they gonna loot? I guess they had 1 card in their hand, which they don't need. Okay, so they discard, I guess, the land that was in their hand, yep. And now these 2 cards are both ones they scried on top. I assume the one of them is going to be an epic confrontation. But that's still not enough by itself, because the 5/4 Woblow is gonna be nasty as well. Okay. Let's play a free spell here, because it's free because of the Foundry Inspector. Then I might as well play this pre-combat. Do I need more blue or... I'll do it like this. Because of course my attack will be lethal here, but I mean they have to have something there for sure. I could thin my deck, but I don't even know if that's... Well, okay, I'm gonna discard an island. I can still play an untapped island if the Proxy draws me a card. So, and I need all the 6 mana. So let's just do like this first. Go to combat. If they wanna prevent me from drawing a card with their take flight, they need to deal with the Proxy right now. Okay, so with the Remorse this is pretty safe to attack with everything. I assume they have 2 instant speed effects here, but this figure is actually pretty good. I'm still not gonna use it pre... I let them block. I believe they might have a Gaia's Gift or something. Coilless Rock. Okay, there's a Coilless Rock there. I'm going to use this right now. And then it's already gonna be lethal. Alright. So they kept 4 on top of the deck, but it wasn't good enough. On the play, with no real plays other than the Refractor, but I have a pretty creature-light deck, right? I'm gonna keep it still, because I can at least try to find something with the Refractor. I do need a fairly cheap creature though, because if it's an expensive one I can't cast it with the amount of lands I have. Opponent did mulligan to 6, so maybe that helps me a little bit. Okay, well that's exactly not the card I need here. Alright. Ooh, this is frisky now. Okay, Stalwart can't do anything about it. Well, this I can... Yeah, the card draw is gonna cost 2 mana, so... not so great. Patrol. Okay, I guess I'll just kill the patrol with the refractor, and I can return the refractor with the world back if I need to. Attack for 1. I don't care if they block. I actually want them to block because that is gonna mean some amount of mana for them, which is still relevant this early in the game. Okay then. I can block and draw. I guess I'm going to do that. That also allows me to have a 4 mana remorse if I need it. I have a disfigure in the deck I should have manually tapped, but didn't get punished. At least I drew a land. Okay, another land. So, still no creature to enchant with the take flight. I need to deal with the Thraxodemon before. I mean, the subjugation doesn't do anything. It does something, but they get a card back if I use something or this on something else than the Thraxodemon. So I think I might also just give the take flight on the token that I get from the emergency world. It's not the worst idea. So I will have to take a bit of damage there, but I'm gonna actually want to use the subjugation so that this is already tapped. Then it costs only 1 mana. So I'm gonna return my refractor and draw another card with it. Because the courier, if I return that, I don't have the mana to cast and sacrifice it. I'd rather just take this 1 card for cheap. Oh, and the animation also is gonna be good, but let's see. I take the 5 here. I do have the remorse for something if they have something big. Alright. Well, I'm gonna first start with subjugation on this thing. Is it a guy's gift? Seems to be the case, and then I have to decide. Okay, that wasn't the guy's gift. Then I can use the Mightstone's animation. The take flight is a little bit too risky, they have open mana, so I'd rather use the Mightstone's animation on this thing here. And I think I'll just leave it as a blocker. Raising isn't such a great idea here. Yeah, no attacks at all. I assume they have they might kill the refractor, so I wanna at least block the stalwart or prevent it from attacking. Okay, the fracture is decent enough. No blocks, and then I will. Well, I have a 3/1 that can block the golem, so I believe I'm just going to. I'm gonna play this and draw 2 cards, then I can cast the Harvester still. A little greedy, but I still have the Remorse as a removal spell. No, I'm not gonna attack with the 1/1 here. They exile that thing. Okay, sure. Well, I'm gonna take another 3 here, but I can take it. So no blocks. Is it time to use the take flight? It seems like they might have more stuff like a remorse here, which I don't exactly like. I mean, they're not playing lands, not tapping out on their turn. If they have more instant speed interaction, I don't like that. So I can play the Wing Commando. I think I'm gonna actually do this and sacrifice, because I can use the the Mightstone, Weakstone mana for the card draw here. So I'm gonna do it like this. Maybe even attack for a point of damage. And then I can draw the card with it. And then decide what I do with the rest of my mana. I guess I'll play the Wing Commando, leave mana up for the... that actually made the remorse cost full 5 again, but... I mean, I'll play the Wing Commando. Oh, can I use the... There's nothing really... I don't want to return another Refractor, so... Because I could have the Weld, Wing Commando and Disfigure all of those up, but I'm gonna do it like this. And see if I can finally deal with the Boulder Branch Golem here. I'm gonna try like this. Let's see if they have a Gaia's Gift. They do. Okay, so I have to take 4. It has trampled now, so jumping with the 1/1 doesn't even make that much sense. So let's go to 4. I mean, this golem has dealt so much damage, but I can't really help that they have so much, tricks and all that. Okay, they get I suppose a 2/2. Oh, they kept the land instead. Alright. So a remorse gonna take care of something there. I can play the Warblow with using the Mightstone, Weakstone here, but that doesn't leave me enough mana for the remorse. I guess I could play this as a 1/1. It will still trade with this golem. I don't like that. Yeah, it's too risky to play the take flight. I'd rather... I mean, if they have a removal on one of my guys, I can then at least cast remorse on their turn. Unless it's an exile-based removal. I can get it back with the Weld. So they have a Boulder Branch Golem, which is fine. I can just exile that thing. And now I can... Okay, Arcane Proxy will get me anything that costs at most 4. Emergency Weld, Powerstone Fracture, that's all good stuff. I can even sack the Mightstone and Weakstone on a Fracture and then weld it back to draw 2 more cards. But the problem is they have these things, and if they have pump spells they are still lethal, so I cannot really... Yeah, I guess I'm just going to... Although if I need removal, I need to have access to the Fracture, so I don't think I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna just do it like this. I'm gonna leave the Wing Commando as a blocker here, I suppose. Just in case. They're at 27, I'm not gonna win anytime soon. So here... I think... Yeah, if the last card is a big creature that I need to deal with the Powerstone Fracture, I'm gonna leave the Proxy for now. But I'm gonna get back the Woblo. Don't exactly have 6 mana to cast it with the bigger version, but it's fine. Okay, they have a spider, which isn't the most exciting thing. Yeah, they can kill the take flight thing here. I mean, it's good if they have like an emergency world of their own. Oh, they have a trick. Well, I would block with the wing command or make them use the trick. So that's gonna mean that I'm gonna get the I don't have a stern lesson here yet, so yeah. Alright. This is not exactly needed yet, so I'm thinking, yeah, there's nothing really good to return with the weld. So I suppose I'm just gonna play this and not do anything else. Not gonna play the proxy yet. That has reach, so I'm not gonna attack into the spider. Gigamo. So they have, where are they lands? Oh wow, they have multiple spiders. This is just insane. Ah, that's sick. That's so sick. I mean, I've drawn like most of my deck, but they have just all this gas. Oh man. Well, let's double block it. Whatever. Let's see if they're gonna get 8 life here. Actually 9 life. Okay, they are. So with that, well, I guess with that I'm just gonna weld back the the fracture isn't gonna do that much, so I'm gonna weld back the Woblo here rather than the flyer, and then I can still cast it. But now it's time for the opponent to hit a few lands. I guess they milled some lands. 1, 2. That's more cards for them, but I can at least block this guy. I might also get decked because they have gained so much life here. Alright. It's always so awkward to play when you add such a low life total because you can't really start attacking the opponent so easily. So I have here 12 lands and in my graveyard. They have a Gixis command. That's the last card they have. You know, that's actually just... What did they do? Okay, they have... Well, it's not... I don't lose yet, but I mean, that's just... that was the last card. I have 11 lands. They have... I guess that's still 9, so it's very close. Alright, so I need to only find something for the 4-5 they have here, and this is not enough. I mean, I can jump block it, but don't think it matters too much. Yeah, I mean, if they have a Gixis command as the last card, what can I do there? What can I do there? They are only at 45, so I need to also, you know, kind of deal the lethal damage here before I take out. Yeah, I mean, they just had way too many spells in this game. Okay, Gixis command. I mean, that's an Urza's rebuff for sure. And what else? What else? I didn't see them having... No, there's nothing that makes like a Moment of Defiance a very good card, I don't think. Okay, what do I not need? I need to cut. Man, that Gixis command, I mean, I thought I was in a safe where they start drawing a few lands and I have a good board state, but no, they just completely wrecked my board and actually still continue drawing spells, so there wasn't a chance. I don't know what I'm cutting here. I already played just 16 lands, so it's not going to be a land. Could be the archaeologist. Okay, I'm gonna cut the archaeologist. Okay. So they have 2 spiders, for instance. I actually should have. I should have also brought back the. Sideboarded in the counter spell for creatures to counter the spiders. They are just so good. But I kind of forgot. I was so fixated on the Gix's command, I forgot what other good stuff they had in their deck. But with double spider, you know, the black green, the uncommon spider, I should have the scatter. Or what's the. Anyway, the counter spell that taxes for 4. I'm gonna play one of these as a 1/1, I believe. Probably not the other one though. Yeah, it's gonna be trading with this. Well, actually, I don't mind now that it's a 2/2, so I can trade with a 2/2 here. With the 1/1 I wouldn't have. Okay, so they actually chose to not block. Well, they probably have something. Okay, well, next turn I can play the Might Stone and Weak Stone. Well, they did mill 2 creatures. Gigamon. Okay, couple of rages. They have also another overwhelming remorse. Yeah, their deck is really good. I'm fine with trading. I'm going to have to draw cards with the Might Stone and Weak Stone. Killing their 2/3 isn't gonna really be any kind of solution here. Alright, well, I mean, they have lost 2 of these overwhelming remorses. Maybe the Take Flight can take me to victory. That has to die. And it could die this turn if I'm willing to sacrifice this thing, which I actually am. They don't have anything with 1 mana value here. So let's hope they don't have a Gaia's Gift. I'm gonna play this first, of course. I need the mana from the Might Stone and Weak Stone, and then let's try our luck here. So they have the gift too. Wow. Sometimes you just have everything you need. So now I need to just win with the Warp Blow. And they of course get, you know, these. The reason I wanted to absolutely kill this is because they have these card draw effects in there. So they actually can raise me even if I have to take flight. Unless I draw. Yeah, because I'm gonna face a lot of damage. Well, I have a kill spell with nothing to sacrifice for it. I mean, this is my only chance anyway, so I'm gonna do this. That is gonna be something I can sacrifice for the fracture, but problem is my attack on the next turn isn't going to be lethal. They're gonna actually. Hey, wait a minute, I would have lost their. Oh, I would have lost her if they unearthed this guy. Doesn't matter, because I mean they deal 2 additional from the haste guy, and this would have gotten another counter. But what does it matter? They have one of the spiders, so they just had the nut draw in both games. GG. Come on. Even the emergency welter. Yeah, it's like I had no chance here. They just curved out, had the punches, had everything perfectly, but their deck also was amazing. Okay, we have enough going on with this stuff. The opponent also mulligans. I'm gonna keep it because I can play the Warp Blows, I can return the Warp Blows, and then I can sacrifice the 1/1 token. And I can also just draw the island here. Alright, well, the Transmogrant's Crown is insanely good card. Oh boy. I don't like seeing that. The Jalum Tome, not so good. I had that thing in my deck too. I'm gonna just play these as Death Touchers here. Okay, they need a creature to make these things. Okay, that's fine. This looting, it costs 2 mana. It's a bit risky to play into a potential disfigure, but I don't really think I have too much time here. I mean, I can't afford to do nothing here. I guess I could have, you know, returned this thing and played as another Death Toucher, but this is my shot to win the game. I can play the Trench Stalker. The world can get this thing back so that I can play it as a 5/4. I assume this might just die. They didn't actually loot on the previous turn, so they have... Okay, they have a Steel Exemplar, but it's not even that big. Okay, this is all good for now. So am I going to kill it before they get to equip it? Because then they get to draw a card. Probably this and a Refractor. No, I'm gonna be 1 mana short. I think I'm gonna do it so I'm gonna bring back the Warplow. Then I'm going to fracture this guy. Play the tapped land, Evolving Wilds. Then I can have the Goring Warplow on the next turn if I want to. Although I might actually want to just play the Trench Stalker, but I think that was still fine. I didn't want them to equip. A 6 power Trampler is kind of tough anyway. Okay, well that will kill my Warplow. They milled me. Wait a minute. They didn't equip. Okay, I no longer understand what is going on. Okay, so... Well, I guess I'll still play this thing. I'm not going to attack with it though, as long as the Warplow is alive, but I suppose things go quite well if that thing is alive. But why didn't they equip the Vermin? Now they're gonna do that. But they don't really have an attack. I mean, I have such a good counter attack, so they can hold back the Trench Stalker. Okay, that is really good for them. Now they get to kill both. Alright. And they get to draw a card. Well, that was great. How do I continue from here? Not very well if I just keep drawing lands, because now every creature is gonna get +2/+0, and when they die, they're gonna draw a card. So yep, the Take Flight was my chance to get some job work done, but now it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna just lose to this thing, and I mean, maybe I can find my overwhelming remorse. That is the one thing I can find here. So let's start digging here then. That's not it. Should have played the Foundry Inspector first, but oh well. There it is. Okay, so that doesn't trigger anything because it's an exile effect. Problem is the opponent is still at 10 life, so they're gonna find some other creature now. I will just, I can't trade with the creatures. I have to build a kind of a board, a white board here, and then attack. Okay, they get 2 cards, but lost also a couple of life points. Paratrooper can be equipped with a crown. Okay, well that is... Oh, I mean that's actually very good for me. They don't have they have only a jump block available. Well, now I actually can try to beat the crown. Mightstone and Weakstone, Powerstone, Fracturer. I feel like I should just kill all their creatures. So I do have him. Before I show them what I have, I'm gonna attack because they can only jump block. They can't even double block to kill it. So now they're at 3. Which means that I can use the Poundstone Fracture to kill one of the guys. Because I can do it like this. This leaves me exactly 6 mana, which is enough with the discount here. And they are now facing 3 lethal creatures. And I'm gonna fracture this and sack the refractor here. So now they just, I mean, they have to deal with all these 3. They have 1 blocker. So that's not so easy for them, especially if they have to loot with 2 mana here. Okay, yeah. Well, I dug into them. The important turn here was that when they got them Dix and Puppeteer, I of course couldn't draw into it, attack into it, because they get both a card from the crown and of course return something from the graveyard. I guess then knowing Vermin was the only thing in the graveyard they could have returned. But regardless, I would have lost my Warblow as well. But then I used the Refractor and the Combat Courier to find my Overwhelming Remorse, and that allowed me to get the, keep the initiative and win that way. But now, what to do with the crown? Black is of course known for the inability to deal with the artifacts, other than like bouncing them. So I suppose the bounce spell, which is already in my deck, is gonna be useful. I can try to counter it. This is artifact or creature. Like this is enchant artifact or creature, but that doesn't prevent from equipping in the crown around, so not gonna work. I might want to have a flyer to deal with. I mean, not care about the crown, try to raise. The riposte is just too good against my... I mean, if their 2 mana removal kills my 5-drop, I don't like that at all. Maybe... I don't know, really. Not even sure what should I be cutting. Yeah, I don't actually know what to do here. Maybe I will have to rebuff. They have a lot of good removal, so I'm gonna have to rebuff, cut the Archaeologist. Maybe the rebuff can catch something, but they had also the removal spells. It's nice to counter it, Poundstone Fracture with the rebuff. Okay, that's definitely a decent hand. Disfigure, Harvester, Anointer. Yeah, that's actually going to be... They shouldn't mill me. Look at what they are doing. They are actually helping me. In this format, you never mill the opponent. I just got a free Combat Courier here. Okay, the crown is here. Well, it's a shame, but what can you do? I did kill it because it's gonna just eat my Harvester, so... At least I do have the Anointer now, and I do have the Anointer as a 2/4 once I cast the Refractor. But yeah, the crown is really obnoxious. It's been disenchant. I wish I had a disenchant here myself. Alright. Let's see if they can deal with this thing. I have also the Combat Courier, which will draw me a card. So that's useful. Please don't kill the Anointer as well. That would be not nice. Alright. Well, isn't bad. And they also didn't play a creature, so the crown again doesn't do much. I did draw them at least 1 card in the previous game, but I am happy. Alright, let's do the Combat Courier. Attack for 2 here. It's gonna be 2 damage regardless if I sack it pre or post combat, so it doesn't matter really. Okay, so they don't seem to have removal, so they're just using the dig site here. Alright. I can weld back, I suppose, the Foundry Inspector or the Harvester, but Harvester is already gonna be useful enough with the Unearth option. Oh, don't kill it now. Okay, they have a cavalry there. Well, I'm gonna draw 2 cards, I believe. Although, maybe it's time to actually just kill it, because they're gonna crown it. Yeah, I have to do it. I would have loved to draw the cards, but this is going to be now the play before they get to equip it. Oh, and man, I always forget that I just missed one. You know, I missed point of damage here. I could have done this before attacking, but let's hope it's not gonna be that relevant. Okay, so I can now fracture the weak stone thing and actually recast it by getting it back with the weld. Oh, and I can do the... They can kill my refractor, but otherwise they're gonna kill the anointer, so I think... Oh, if they can't really do with x equals 2, because then they will lose the crown as well. Alright, so I'm gonna actually do this, because this will always also draw me a card, making the anointer better. So let's do this now. I might even actually just... deal 3 with the Asnot's Harvester. I still have the Foundry Inspector here, so now if the Anointer dies, I'm gonna get that back. I guess this is a good moment to deal extra D3 damage, and I can still play the Evolving Wilds because I can use the Might Stone thing here. Okay, that is a lot of damage. I will exile, I guess, the Cavalry here. They are taking it all. Alright. I don't think they are in a good shape anymore, despite having the crown, but I mean the crown doesn't do much if you don't have creatures. They had 2, but I dealt with both of them. So they can put x equals 2, but I mean this is now x equals 3, so if they kill the anointer I can just get the creature back. They definitely shouldn't do it now, because then I will have the creature won't have summoning sickness on my turn anymore. They should do it on my turn, but no. I get the inspector back now. So maybe they have a sorcery speed removal on it, because otherwise there's no point doing it on their turn. Well, I guess the opponent could have sequenced their plays a little bit better, but in the end I won this game because they had only 2 creatures to go with the crown, and I was able to remove both of them before they were able to equip them. And of course I had a very good draw myself with, you know, 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, and the Might Stone, Weak Stone. I drew the Might Stone's animation just after casting the Refractor, so that was a very, very good draw from me for sure. Okay, so I did at least reach the 2-win mark here, and the second match against the black-green deck was pretty crazy. I should have sideboarded in the Scatter Ray also, but it was not like that. The spiders mattered in the game 2, where they just basically steamrolled over me. I had no chance in the second game. The first one was closer, much closer. But yeah, a good deck won my deck. This actually doesn't seem that great. It's a bit lacking, but it had some nice stuff going on. And I was able to use the Arcane Proxy multiple times. Especially I liked maybe it wasn't the strongest thing ever, but I liked the game where I was able to play it turn 2 Machine Over Matter and then turn 3 Arcane Proxy, you know, recasting the Machine Over Matter, and then on turn 4 I had to take flight on the Proxy, and then the Proxy attacked for how many turns, giving me extra cards. That was at least fun. But yeah, that was it for this deck, and for this event, and for this video. Let's claim the prize here, and I will see you in the next video then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.